PSI is a leading full-service contract research organisation whose key strength is predictable patient enrolment across Phase 1 through Phase 4 studies in multiple therapeutic areas. PSI's reputation is that of a no-nonsense CRO with a proven ability to predict clinical trial timelines. While 94% of studies across the industry fall behind schedule, PSI has a track record of delivering 95% of studies on time and on budget. PSI operates with an exceptionally strong global infrastructure and provides diversified trial services that include global project management, feasibility services, regulatory affairs, data management, clinical monitoring, global safety reporting, biostatistics, quality assurance, and medical affairs. PSI is home to 1,200 employees working around the world, allowing PSI a global reach to conduct clinical trials across multiple continents. We have in excess of 250 MDs company-wide who are responsible for all of our service areas, making us the CRO with the highest percentage of physicians involved in delivering services to our clients. PSI has a dedicated feasibility unit, staffed with physicians experienced in numerous therapeutic areas. Each project receives a thorough medical, clinical, logistical and regulatory assessment performed by a full-time feasibility staff. From this information, we provide recommendations based on the best choice of sites, countries and pragmatic timelines for your study. The majority of PSI's global project managers are MDs and have been working with PSI on average of 8 years. Our low staff turnover rate of less than 5% means that our focus on timelines and on-time project delivery is hardwired into our people and our processes, allowing us to realise our commitment to our clients. As a pharmaceutical company, your time to market is the key to your success. Typical CROs often forecast unrealistic schedules to help close deals, and as many as 94% of studies in the industry fall behind schedule. At PSI, we are a global organisation with expert local knowledge, which allows us to run highly accurate feasibility studies and set realistic time expectations. Over 95% of our studies are completed on time or ahead of schedule, giving you a forecast time to market you can rely on. Helping solve the riddle of cancer affects hundreds of millions of people. Cancer is a truly global problem with a projected 22 million cases per annum by 2030. Only 1 in 10 cancer drugs make it to market. Oncology drug development has a 4.7% success rate. Choosing the right CRO has never been more important. Over 90% of trials are delayed. PSI completes 95% of clinical trials on time or ahead of schedule because we know that reduced time to market saves lives. At PSI, 90% of project management and 85% of clinical operations staff have oncology experience that translates into knowledge, setting and meeting realistic enrolment timelines with our low staff turnover wherever you are in the world. With strategically placed offices, PSI can manage multinational clinical trials. We focus on timely delivery at every stage of the clinical research process, at any location. We've enrolled over 20,000 oncology patients in the last decade in 50+ countries across 5 continents. In the recent years, our specialists have conducted over 2,000 oncology feasibility assessments. Thorough feasibility assessments, timely patient enrolment and efficient trial management saves our sponsors millions of development dollars in time to market for their drug. We go the extra mile to deliver our contractual promises to you while cultivating loyalty and accountability. We make your last patient our first priority, and you don't pay until we've reached the next milestone. For more details on our services, please visit our website at psi-cro.com.
PSI is a leading infectious diseases CRO. In recent years, we have conducted more than 30 Phase 1 through Phase 3 ID programs involving more than 4,000 patients. Our absolute goal is to make sure to complete every study on or ahead of schedule. That's because at PSI, on-time delivery of your clinical trial is one of the key measures of success. PSI has developed a dedicated group of MDs working on feasibility, design and planning of studies in infectious diseases. Our broad experience, understanding of antibiotic resistance in different parts of the world, and access to more than 3,000 ID sites globally are instrumental to forecasting reliable patient enrollment rates. PSI's full-time laboratory experts, specializing in microbiology, assessments, setup of regional microlabs, sample shipments, and other logistics, offer important contribution to planning antibiotic studies around the world. More than 60% of PSI's operational staff have infectious disease experience, forming therapeutically aligned ID teams. They provide our sponsors with expertise in planning and executing all aspects of a clinical trial, ending studies on time and on budget. The geographical spread of our ID experience covers Europe, North America, Latin America, South Africa, Asia Pacific and India. Today, PSI is running 1,000-patient programs in acute care indications across several continents. We are delivering global trials, including pediatric studies, in an extensive range of ID indications, such as bronchitis, candidiasis, hepatitis, herpes, influenza, respiratory viruses, intra-abdominal infections, skin and skin structure infections, urinary tract infections, pneumonias, osteomyelitis. If it is critical for you to complete your ID program on time, contact PSI today.
PSI is reliable, dedicated, and trustworthy.
PSI is about great people. I love to be here.
It's the service provider that thinks before they act.
It's a company that really cares about the studies that they choose, and we each take our studies very personally.
PSI is about deeds, not words.
PSI is about people who have an optimism, in fact, a belief that the projects that we work on will be delivered on time.
It's about joy in working and inventing together.
PSI is about achieving. It's about accomplishing. Do whatever it takes to meet or exceed expectations. That's how I was brought up in this company.
PSI is about care and going beyond. We really care about what we are doing, and we always go an extra mile in each and every study we run.
PSI is about the ability to follow through on commitments.
PSI coordinates and performs clinical trials all over the globe by simultaneously taking into consideration the local requirements.
PSI is about an impossible dream of managing clinical trials on time and actually living this dream.
PSI is about premium quality people.
PSI is all about teamwork.
It's about constantly raising the standards of our industry to provide better medicines.
Making a difference.
PSI is about stability, about development, and about reliability.
PSI is about professionalism. It's about assuming responsibilities and meeting commitments.
Great opportunities and hard work.
For me, PSI is about the challenge, but a nice and rewarding one.
Trust. The trust we have in each other as colleagues, the trust our clients put in us.
Commitment to clients, employees, and society.
PSI is clinical research.
To me, PSI is the sense of purpose and the challenge. These are two things this company gives me.
PSI is a philosophy that I truly believe in.
It's working with dedicated, sincere, genuine colleagues.
It's about growth, both professionally and personally.
PSI is truly my family.
It means genuine encouragement to be and give my best.
PSI means for me the return into a real professional CRO and working with a lot of professional people who really know what they are doing.
Everything. I spend most time of my professional life here. I met some great people. I had my share of victories and disappointments, saw the world with. It's like a miniature version of life itself.
It means I can personally stand in front of a client and know that we're going to do our very best.
So PSI is much more than just my favorite job.
PSI has become like an extended family that supports you not only personally but professionally.
Freedom to contribute significant value.
PSI is a company that always honors its commitments.
PSI for me personally means to work at the best CRO I have ever worked for.
Opportunity and commitment.
It means a very simple thing. Nothing is impossible.
It was a way to grow, to go through your life and to grow up to the challenge.
Well, for me, PSI is just the right place to be.
Essential part of my life.
It means I can sleep well at night, knowing my clients are being looked after by my friends and colleagues who also happen to be the best people in the industry.
It's all about life.
Typical CROs bill every hour their staff work on your project. When milestones are missed due to poor feasibility studies and project management, the cost of your project will continue to rise until the study is complete. PSI charge based on pre-agreed enrolment milestones, meaning that PSI do not bill until these milestones are reached. This ensures the cost of your project will not overrun unless your requirements change during the study. At PSI, more than 90% of projects are completed within budget.